Welcome everybody to week 1 rivalry week here. Big first game for the new regime of the Minnesota Vikings. Tough new start to the season for your quarterback, new quarterback Saunders, as he will be facing the dreaded Packers, what has been the most part the king of the NFC North. No team has really rivaled them in a consistent way for probably about a decade, at least that's what it feels like. Luckily, we will get the ball first, and Saunders takes the field. His first official start as an NFL quarterback. He was our first pick, the number 1 pick in this last draft. If you guys did not see that draft, that preseason was last week, or not the last week, last video. The week, and then the video before that was the draft. I suggest you guys go check that out. But it is a new season here, new coach, new quarterback, new GM, new a lot here for the Minnesota Vikings, and let's see if all those changes actually makes a difference here for us to get a win in week 1. And Dalvin starts it off with a fantastic 11-yard run. Looks like it was going to be a dive play, but he bounces it outside and gets a first down on the first play from scrimmage. And unfortunately, there was an injury that we had suffered in the last preseason game, with star tackle O'Neal being injured, actually out for a few weeks here. We'll see probably a rotation along the offensive line, where currently they have Rashard Hill starting at left tackle, but we might see the rookie Smith come in, play guard, maybe even center, kind of move some players around. First pass play there for Saunders, completion slant route to DJ Chark, who had a kind of hit or miss preseason, but definitely hoping that they can continue and build well there. We see Alexander Madison in the backfield here. During the offseason, Coach had talked about how he wants to have a better rotation in the running back group there. Give Dalvin about 15 rushes a game, 5 to 10 receptions, and then substitute some of those other backs in. The goal there being to keep Dalvin healthy for the full year. Come out here in a spread look. Alexander Madison wide open and is forced out of bounds at about the 2. So close to a touchdown there. Let's see if this new team can finish it off. So they've sometimes struggled a bit in the red zone, being consistent. No problems there. Offensive line powers through Dalvin Cook in for the first touchdown of the season in Lambeau Field. Aaron Rodgers leading the Packers out after a fantastic previous season. Rating still fantastic, even though he is getting up there in age. But good thing for the Vikings, the offense was able to go out there, put together a fantastic drive, score first. Now we just need to see the defense follow through with that same effort and get a turnover here, or at least force a 3-and-out, or just force a punt. It would be fine. And there's that turnover that we were just talking about. Eric Kendricks, first play for the Minnesota defense, gets that pick, and they're just focused on the offense. Cut right to Dalvin Cook coming back out here. We don't even get to see Kendricks' celebration. How unfortunate there, but he was celebrating, and that's a focus here that the Vikings had talked about in the offseason, was bringing that energy back to the team that they really didn't have last year, and was kind of not really there either the previous year. Got Saunders rolling out here. See, he started to pull that ball up like he was going to toss it out, but just got caught from behind there by Rashard Gary. Saunders has some speed, but he's not going to be one of the top rushing quarterbacks in this league. He has good acceleration, but not very fantastic top-end speed. Dalvin there tried to bounce it to the outside, but gets wrapped up there by a pack of Packers. We have Jefferson over to the left. Looks like they will have some safety help, but he is kind of moving off to the side. He ends up tossing it up in triple coverage. Probably not the best read there, but we are in field goal range. It will send out Young Ho Koo here to put us up 10-3 barring a miss. And while he cut it close, it is good. That's going to give us a 10-0 lead. Fantastic start here to the rivalry game in week 1 of the new regimen here in the Minnesota Vikings. The Minnesota defense started off strong in this game with a one-play pick by Eric Kendricks. Want to make sure that they keep that tempo up. They have Daniil screaming off the edge and gets a sack on first down, flexes on him. You know what it is, Daniil Hunter back. Missed a lot of last season, but he is one of the key guys here on the Minnesota Vikings. He needs to have a great game for the defense to have a great game, and no one loves more seeing Rodgers hit the deck. There is a lot of history here between Rodgers and the Minnesota Vikings, and some of it hasn't been very good for the Vikings, but so far in this game, pretty strong. You got Jones going to the right. Quick stop there by Kendricks. Going to force a 3rd and long here. Coming out in the spread offense here. Nickel for the Vikings. And they have Rodgers that's going to dump it off to Aaron Jones. Anthony Barr gets the tackle in the open field. Going to force a punt. Fantastic start here for the Vikings. Need to see this continue for a fantastic week 1. Following the 14-yard return there by Nwangwu, sets the Vikings up on the 37-yard line. They come out in that strong formation here. They have a bunch of space to run, but quickly closes from the outside. Only a gain of 2. Change up a little bit here, going in a spread look. Adam Thielen playing slot mostly this year. You see Saunders is actually going to tuck it and run, go for the first down and out of bounds, avoid the hit, but continue to move those chains. And a lot of speculation was kind of going around the league too, on if Irv Smith Jr. was going to get the start or if they were going to give it to rookie Flanagan. Looks like Irv Smith does get the start in this game, but we'll probably see a bit of Flanagan as well, especially when they come out in their 2 tight end sets. Switching back here to the strong. Dalvin tries to spin off the tackle there, but Kenny Clark is right there to wrap him up, and that's going to bring the end there to the first quarter. A 10-0 game here in Lambeau. Kind of a bit of a shocker there, especially with how poor the Vikings were last year and how good the Packers were, taking the team in real life to the postseason. Hasn't gone much past there yet, so can't tell you exactly who's ended up winning there, but in this last sim season, the Packers didn't play all too well, but still played a lot better than the Vikings did. Going to come out here in a spread look, and there was just too much rush. Offensive line folded, and there was no one open for Saunders to throw the ball to. 4th and 17 for the Minnesota Vikings. Following a solid punt there, the Packers will start on the 11-yard line. Looks like the Vikings are out in a nickel form here. They brought the safety blitz by McCourty, but it was well picked up by the Packers offensive line. Rodgers is able to dump it off to get a gain of 6 on first down, which has so far been their best first down, I think, to date of this game here. They fake the sweep, the jet sweep, handed it off to Jones. He's close to the first down, and they do end up marking that as a first down for the Packers. Coming out here, looks like another run play, and Kendricks just dove right past Jones, who was there to meet him at about this line of scrimmage, but just flew by him. Jones didn't really even have to make him miss there. And then Verrett just, I believe that was Cobb. Is Cobb still there? He is. Easy slant catch there for Cobb. First down for the Packers. Need to see a bit more there from Verrett. It is an entirely new cornerback group here, really. The only one who's really continuing play from last year is Dantzler, who is playing one of the slot cornerback spots here. It isn't certain if that is going to be his position to keep or if he's going to have to fight for that come the next offseason, depending on what's on the draft class or even in free agency. He does not have that spot locked down, but could lock that down this season. So far, though, the Packers are putting together their best drive yet of this game. Still out in a pass look here. First interception by McCourty for the Minnesota Vikings, and no one's going to stop him. That's a house call. 16 so far, 0. Vikings in Lambeau Field, pitching a shutout so far. Who saw this coming? And for those asking, no, this is not on rookie difficulty. We are playing on all Madden. We might adjust some sliders here and there if it seems to be a bit too easy, but so far the Vikings are making it look easy here. Defense coming up big, offense as well. There was quite a bit of concern after the preseason where they went without winning a single game and didn't even score a point in their last game. But that was all really the second team. The first team offense looked pretty strong, although not looking too strong there and tackling on the old man Randall Cobb there. Which brings us to the 2-minute warning. But altogether, the Vikings starters had a pretty good preseason, and we're seeing that kind of follow through here with a fantastic opening week as Rodgers scrambles out and finds a wide open tight end. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that last name. 81, tight end for the Packers, wide open. And that's what Rodgers can do. He could scramble, buy you some time, and then just flick his wrist downfield for a wide open guy. As Aaron Jones finds a bit of space there on the screen, gets a first down. 7 yards from the end zone. The Packers are staying in a spread kind of look here. Vikings in their double A gap look. And here comes Danielle Hunter. Sack number 2 on the day. He is now in the zone. Better watch out there, Rodgers. Second and goal from the 13-yard line following that sack. Packers are still coming out in a spread look. Vikings in their double A gap. Broken tackle there. Dantzler missed it, but was able to be wrapped up by the rest of the Vikings squad over on that side. Now third and goal from the 5-yard line, still in a spread look here. See the Vikings making a couple of adjustments. Picked off again, Eric Kendricks. Unfortunately, he wasn't in the end zone, so he's just going to get as much yards as he can. Probably going to run this out before halftime, but that is your third interception in this game on Aaron Rodgers. Dalvin Cook and Saunders coming out there to just go ahead and take this into halftime unless they could find a nice splash play to get them forward. And here they come in their double tight end set. Looks like they're just, again, going to just run it out there unless they could find a splash play here. They're on the 13-yard line. They will call their first timeout. Now we see out here that they have Nwangwu out at one of the wide receiver spots, and he's going to come in motion here. We saw them do this a couple times in the preseason where they bring him in, use his speed to get to the outside. He does that perfectly there, gets a chunk of yards, and is out of bounds with 2 timeouts left and 30 seconds left before half. Now coming out in a spread look, they got 3 receivers to the left, Irv Smith to the right, and picked off. And that's going to the house. He had Thielen open, but it looks like he threw that just a little too low. Got a little bit more air under that, and he would have had Thielen open on the sideline. Unfortunate here towards the end of half, but that will now bring us 17-7 with 21 seconds left before the half. You could call that last pass a bit of a heat check, as so far anything the Vikings really tried previous had gone their way, so why not take a shot there? Great play though by the corner, ends up jumping up, getting the pick, and there was no one left to stop him from getting to that end zone, which he ended up doing. Looks like they will pass here. Taking a deep shot to DJ Chark. They have him, but he could not get into the end zone. Great pass, would have been better without time expiring, but that is the half there. We're going to go into halftime 17-7. So far this has been Minnesota's game. We'll see if that continues into the second half. Looking around the league here, we'll take a quick look at the Giants-Lions game. Going into halftime, it is a close one, 14-7 Giants. Over on the East Coast, we have Pitt and New England. Again, pretty close game, but the Patriots are in front 13-3. That is Kirk Cousins not starting off to a great start this year with 2 interceptions. Down south, we have the Browns and the Saints. Tie game going into halftime, about 30 seconds left, 21-21. Young Ho-Koo here to kick the ball off for the second half. So far has been a pretty solid kicker so far for The Vikings getting all the extra points and field goals needed. Kind of was a bit of a short kickoff here, but he is in to make the stop. The Packers will start at the 37-yard line. Now, Rodgers did not start the game off very well. 3 interceptions. His only incompletions, however, 7 of 10 for just over 100 yards. The only points that the Packers were able to find in that first half was off of an interception. Just a quick little kind of dump-off pass that ended up being picked off by the corner. Big hit there by Kendricks. Flags fly. They're going to call defensive pass interference. We might call that good timing, but the NFL is getting a little bit stricter on those kind of plays. That's going to give the Packers a free first down at the 42-yard line. See the Vikings coming out in a bit of press coverage here. They didn't do a great job blocking, but did enough. Jones able to get 5 yards on that play. Pierce able to wrap him up. A bit too many yards, though, if you ask me, on that kind of a play. Cobb so far has been their best receiver. Rodgers there on that reception, though, playing a similar role, similar route there than what you see a lot from Cobb. Still out in a spread look here, nickel defense. And again, Kendricks whiffs a bit on the tackle there. You saw him dive, try to go for Jones' legs, but ended up missing. 9 yards on that play. There's your first big play from Wanham. Able to stuff Jones in the backfield. Loss of 2. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 3. Staying out in that double A-gap look here. You see that they tried to make an adjustment before the play. They weren't able to get that off, but that is a close one. We'll need to see the spot, and they're going to give it for the Vikings. They're 4th and inches. They say that they were wrapped up and brought down just before passing that first down marker. Of course, it's rivalry week, week 1 as well. Time to pull out all the stops here. And there is no one on that left-hand side to stuff the run there. First down and more for Jones, bringing the Packers down to the 26-yard line. So far in this game, we've seen the Vikings continue their preseason adjustment to being a bit more of a zone cover team. There has been some man coverage here and there, but that is a bit different than what Rodgers is used to seeing with the Vikings. Previous years, they were a very man-heavy kind of coverage team here, switching it up a bit this year. Daniil in for his, what was that, third sack of the game. Celebration time. Need to bring a bit of that energy back to this team. Love seeing that there. Rodgers has not been able to get away from Hunter so far this game, and it has been a fantastic comeback game for Hunter as he missed most of last season. Again, the Vikings do what they do best. Double A-gap look here on 3rd down. Try to bring a little bit of confusion to that offensive line. Who's coming, who's not, who is dropping into coverage. It looks like they're going to dump it off to Jones, who's going to get a couple there, but it's still going to bring up a 4th down. Following that field goal attempt, the Vikings take the field, now only up 7. Want to make sure they continue their consistent play here to re-widen that gap. Saunders then rolls out, gets a few yards, slides down before being hit. You can see here Alexander's back in the game. Again, they're wanting to make sure that they spread out the running game a bit, keep Dalvin healthy for the full season where he's had injury problems in the past. Coming out here in the ace formation, 2 tight ends, the rookie Flanagan and Irv Smith. We'll see if they try to get either one involved more here in the second half. Saunders rolls out, had big Kenny Clark playing basically what looked like a quarterback spy, easily able to outrun him. First down, Minnesota Vikings. Staying in the same formation here. Check on that offensive line. Looks like the Packers have the stronger defensive line here. We see that there, not a huge rush has really broken out yet. And we're seeing Dalvin take a few more snaps carrying the ball from more of a spread look here rather than having a fullback in front of him. And it doesn't look like that's affecting him very much at all. Big gain there, bringing up a 3rd and 2 here. They do bring in C.J. Ham, who's been a great lead blocker for Dalvin, but they end up handing off the ball to him, and that is a close one. which they do not give to the Vikings, calling it a 4th and inches. To start the fourth quarter on 4th and inches, the Vikings are electing to go for it here. And that was an easy sneak there by Saunders. Gets the first down, plus a few more. Coming out here again, they spread look. 2 receivers to the left, Irv Smith and DJ Chark to the right. Has Adam Thielen open across the middle. Quick tackle, but still close to a first down. Coming out here in a very heavy set here. You would think run, but they do have 2 really good receiving tight ends. Jefferson also out there as well. And there's a fumble there by Saunders, and he's able to get back on. It looked like he tried to dive down, but took a hit there. Luckily, he was able to jump on that. Would not want to give the ball up here. Staying out there in their big tight end set. All tight ends here for the Vikings have some pretty good run blocking abilities, and we see that they're able to create some space for Dalvin to run, getting him 9 yards on that first down run. Saunders takes off again there, just scrambles out of bounds, get hit on his way out, does stop the clock. Just under 5 minutes here, the Vikings on their own 11-yard line. They have DJ Chark in the corner of the end zone, but it looks like he's pushed out just before. One of those so close yet so far moments there. And there's a flag on the play as Thielen drops the ball in the end zone. Typically don't see that, but they're going to say ineligible man downfield for the Vikings. That was Christian Darrisaw. They went for one of those play-action fakes there. Try to see if they were going to hand the ball off or if they were going to end up passing. They ended up passing. Beautiful pass there by Saunders. Speaking of passing, lofted that ball to the outside for Thielen. Quick recovery by the corner, though, kept that from being anything more than a nice chunk play. And they say Saunders fumbled again. DeCastro able to pick it up. Kind of looked like he was down to me. But the Vikings keep the ball on 4th and 11 and bring out Young Hoku here to make this a 2-score game with just over 4 minutes left. Now under 4 minutes left in the game, making the score 20-10. So far, this game has kind of drawn back even. The first half was definitely the Vikings, minus a quick little mistake here at the end of the first half. But so far, the game has kind of bounced back even, except for this play. Jones making all the plays here. Kendricks whiffs again on a tackle, takes a short pass for 46 yards and a first down. Really swinging the momentum in favor of the Packers, which you do not want to happen here at Lambeau Field. The last thing you want to see is Aaron Rodgers getting hot and the Packers starting to make some plays, especially when you have started to struggle a bit, but the Vikings answer right back. Danielle Hunter, 4th sack of the game. What a way to start off this season after an injury in the previous year that kept you out, and the year before that where you weren't able to play either due to injury. So need to keep him healthy and getting these sacks like we see here today. So far in this game, the Vikings defensive line seems to be playing strong, mostly from Danielle Hunter getting some key sacks. Haven't seen too much from the other guys, a couple plays here and there. Wanham had the tackle for loss, but not too much from the defensive tackles, mostly just kind of stuffing the blockers. And here comes Danielle, 5th sack of the game. That man is on fire. Do you a little celebration? Not quite sure what that was. Great stop there by Danielle. 5th sack of the game, forcing a field goal. Gonna keep it with this field goal made, still a 7-point game, which that is the case. Now 20-13 late in the 4th quarter. Following a solid return by Nwangwu, we will start at the 33-yard line with just over 2 minutes left. You want to see them kind of drain the clock, but also don't want to see him take that foot off the pedal there. Great first run by Dalvin. First down so far, he is at 12 carries, just under 60 yards. Which so far that is about the range of which the Vikings are wanting to keep Dalvin, leaving him to be explosive, but also make sure we're not overusing him to where he ends up getting injured late in the season. Huge chunk play there, pass to Thielen. Great pass there by Saunders. First time out there by Green Bay. And that kind of play right there is exactly what Jefferson was talking about at the end of last season, where they just weren't aggressive when they needed to be. Sure, late in the game you have the lead, you need to drain the clock, but you can't just run. You gotta change it up a little bit, and that's what we're seeing so far here. Looks like they're still coming out here in that power look. They have Ham out there. They do still have some great receiving threats as well if they decide not to pass it, which that does look like what they're doing. They lofted out to CJ Ham, and he is in for a touchdown. That's the nail in the coffin there. A quick little wheel route out to CJ Ham, who was left wide open. Easy play there for the Minnesota Vikings. So far, this has not been a great game for the Packers or a great start to their season, but it is oddly similar to what happened last year as well. The first week, Favre had an awful game, throwing many interceptions, but he turned it around and ended up having a very similar to MVP style season. Hasn't been announced who's winning MVP yet, but we had his name up there. That could be a similar situation here, but the Vikings have had their number so far in this game. Packers are making a couple plays here late. We were able to get some rush in there, forced the incomplete pass, and ended up slowing down the team quite a bit. Daniil coming in for his 6th sack. Rodgers does give it off, but they are going to toss the flag for the late hit there from Daniil on, I almost said Favre again, on Rodgers. With the type of game he's had today, I think we can forgive a few mistakes here and there. Just want to make sure that we keep the Packers out of the end zone here. Don't want to give up anything late. As Rodgers just tosses the ball out of bounds there. Great coverage. Need to make sure we're bringing the pressure there, though. Shouldn't have all day to just sit in the pocket and wait. Still out in that double A gap look here. Want to confuse the line. Nice job by Barr knocking that pass down. The Vikings just need to hold for 2 more plays. Force the turnover on downs. No need to give up any garbage time points. And that was thrown too high for anyone. You saw Brian Poole try to jump up to get that pass, but was not able to get enough vertical there. Fantastic grab there by Beverly, but lands out of bounds, which will be a turnover. Good job by Verrett to make sure that he landed out of bounds instead of the end zone. And in Saunders' first game, he walks out there in victory formation. Probably take 2 kneel downs here as the Packers use their last and final timeout. But a victory is ready here for the Vikings, no matter what the Packers do, calling a random timeout that is not needed. In his first NFL game, Dwight Saunders helped lead the Vikings to a victory in Lambeau Field, 27-13. What a fantastic start to this season, giving us a head up on one of our rivals here, one of our biggest rivals in the Green Bay Packers. Nothing feels better than that. As we see here with them jogging off the field, the Vikings really outplayed the Packers in all assets besides passing yards with some garbage time chunks there. But unfortunate start for the Packers, great for the Vikings. We always love seeing them lose and beating them, especially in Lambeau Field week 1. We'll take a quick look here at the stats 2 of the game, and we see here that Dwight Saunders outplayed Aaron Rodgers in his very first NFL game. Only threw 11 passes, 8 of which were completed for 174 yards. He completed 72% of his throws, 1 touchdown. He did have 1 interception. That was, again, a little bit more of a heat check there, tossing it up for Thielen, and there was a great play made by the corner. In the rushing game, 13 carries for 68 yards. Would like to see maybe a couple more rushes, closer to 100 yards there for Cook, but 5.2 yards in average and a touchdown. Nothing bad there. In the receiving game, Aaron Jones did a great job, as well as Randall Cobb. Those two single-handedly were the toughest threat that the Packers put forth. Adam Thielen, 3 catches, 50 yards. DJ Chark had that nice chunk catch right before halftime, with 2 receptions, 72 yards. Justin Jefferson, only 1 catch for 11 yards. Going to want to make sure that we see a few more passes in his direction. Might end up meaning that we need to extend the time in each quarter. But so far, first game, great game. Alexander Mattison also had 1 catch for 24 yards. On the defensive side, Danielle Hunter led the way for the Minnesota Vikings. 5 sacks. He single-handedly was one of the biggest reasons that we ended up winning this game and limited the Packers and what they were able to do. Another huge contributor, also Eric Kendricks, despite all of his whiffed block or tackle attempts there, he did have 2 interceptions, 6 total tackles. The only other player on the Vikings that had a tackle for loss was Wanham on that run stuff. But overall, a pretty solid play here for our defense. In the kicking game, Young Hoku, 2 for 2 on field goal attempts, 3 for 3 on extra point. That's all we need from him. Following that game, we do have one player who's ready for a bit of an upgrade, and that's going to be Alexander Mattison. We're going to do the power back upgrade for him. Gets +2 stiff arm, which is always nice. Take a quick look at his stats. The only thing that I wish was better for him was speed, but he played very well out there for us, so we'll take it. And following the game, Jonathan Coachman came up and asked our new GM here, our lead GM, Chad Greenway, a quick question. That being, many folks, including yourself, thought the team would perform better last season, but things did not come together. How do you avoid that again this season? And as we saw in the offseason, there was a large change that took place. New GM, new head coach, and a bunch of new players. For Coachman here, what we will choose instead was from start to finish, the coaching has to be consistent. Leadership starts at the top, and that means the staff has to stay on point. That was what many people were concerned with last year, not the players, but the coaching staff, and why we were giving up so many late comebacks or even just had so many close games. That's not going to be a thing we're going to do here. We're going to finish games just like we did here against the Packers with that late touchdown to CJ Ham. And following that victory, it puts the Vikings top in NFC North, the only team to win their first game. Lions lost, Packers obviously lost, and the Bears lost as well. So great start here for us, giving us a leg up on our competition. Next week, we'll be playing against the New York Jets. So make sure you guys are liking, commenting, subscribing, bell notification, everything. Make sure you guys are sticking along as we continue, hopefully, this win streak. They really just started off hot. Definitely going to try to continue that there and see even more improvements from Saunders. But until next time, hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you next time. Bye.